this dream I'm floating. A soft momentum that gently rocks like the tide of an ocean. Staring upon the great land of Lebanon, the resting ground of my ancestors, and the home of my spirit. I stand upon the shores, between the mountain and the sea.
Gorgeous cinematography, my goodness. It really did have that dreamlike quality with the slow motion pulling in and out, kind of guiding and floating through. It did feel like this very encompassing journey through the land with very distinctive framing and that poetic narration to guide us through the images or to have them bounce off one another. I thought it was really beautifully done.
In Dreams was a beautiful love letter to Lebanon. It definitely felt like poetry. So the narration was super clear, super passionate, which really helped this film. The other thing that stood out for this film was definitely the cinematography and the beautiful shots that were shown. Opening on that ship in the water and it's crystal clear was really amazing to see. And it just kept coming with the beautiful shots of the country. And you really get the same sense as the narrator of how beautiful this place is and how it is somewhere that you would imagine you could only visit in dreams. So I thought everything was wrapped together very perfectly and made for a very calm, almost a meditation of a film.
It's had the narration of a guy talking about things happening to him or what's going on. And some of the shots were very similar to like a Terrence Malick or like Tree of Life type element. Gives you this holistic perspective of reality, of different events, different places around the world, telling a grand story over a span of 4 minutes. And it had a very dreamlike, esoteric feel to it, which is very interesting and nice. Composition was very amazing with wide shots and carefully coordinated cam dollies and sliding of the cameras for to get the audience into it. So it was really nice, really good.
This was beautiful, both visually and audibly. Great footage. Lebanon seems absolutely breathtaking. It's the kind of video that is kind of a travel video, but also very poetic. It's the kind of video that does make you want to go visit a place, whether or not that was even partially the intent, neither here nor there. It was great, great execution. Again, beautiful footage, and a beautiful sort of poem about a beautiful place.
Had some really nice visuals throughout, and did a really good job of capturing this kind of aliveness of all the different locations that are shown throughout the film. I thought that the theme was explored pretty well through the narration. Structurally, the film was pretty tight, pretty well put together in the way that it was structured and things like that. And I think that the narration here worked well to complement the visuals, as well as the visuals working well to complement the narration. So overall, I thought that this one was, like I said, tightly constructed, well put together, well executed, and visually very appealing.
I loved how it was narrated and how the footage and video that they used was a little more abstract in a way because it wasn't strictly following, it wasn't telling the story visually in, I think, the way that a lot of us are used to, where you have like a character that is interacting with those like locations and places specifically. Instead, he is just showing and showcasing the things that he's kind of talking about in his dream, which I really liked because then as an audience member, you can kind of fill in the gaps a little bit and you can imagine and picture the journey, the trip, the mountain, the wind that he is talking about that, you know, greets him when he gets onto this mountain. And I think that that's like really, it's really powerful storytelling technique to let the audience kind of fill in those gaps. And also it's just such a great way to honor his ancestors and their country. And I thought it was really beautifully done. I really enjoyed it.
It's an interesting take on one man's affection for the heart of his soul nestled between the mountain and the sea. It takes us through the streets of Beirut, the interesting architecture which blends both the classical remnants and the dross of modern day urban architecture. But that aside, people really are at the root of this short poem to a city. The scenery, like I said, is a mixture of new and old, and it's a heartfelt film.